Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Jamar back from Vegas Scents, and in this video I'm going over 10 fragrances in my collection that I think are really great for date night situations. So if you're interested in that, do me a favor, stick around for the whole video. And also if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe. Also to anyone watching, leave a like and a comment below. All right. So on this list here, like I said, we have 10 fragrances, but I do have at least one honorable mention. And this one, I know for most sort of fragrance snobs in this community, they absolutely hate this particular fragrance. But I think this is still a really solid fragrance, especially for like a date night sort of situation, or maybe just going out with a girl. And this is going to be Eros by Versace. All right. So Eros, in my opinion, this is the original EDT, I believe. In my opinion, this is a really solid fragrance. This is sweet but fresh at the same time. You get like a combination of like apple, mint, vanilla, tonka bean. This, in my opinion, is a really sexy fragrance, and I haven't necessarily gotten any sort of bad comments when wearing this fragrance or asking, other women how this particular fragrance smelled. Most of them absolutely love this one, despite the fact that, it is a more so sort of synthetic smelling fragrance. This one is loved by a lot of different women that I've asked anyway. So definitely check this one out. Again, this is Eros by Versace. So just to start off the list here, and this list is not in any sort of order from like best to worst or anything like that, but just starting off the list, this is going to be from Paris Corner's Perfumery Privezarah line, and this is going to be Amber Night. And this is their take on Dior Privé's Ambre Nuit. Really nice, ambery, sort of like a sweet, fizzy, ambery type of scent. That's pretty much what you get with this fragrance, with just a tad bit of like rose underneath. This is a really amazing fragrance. I don't really see how anyone could say that they didn't like the way that this one smelled. I really love this fragrance, and like I said, for the most part, I only wear this one at night, because that's just the sort of feel that I get from this is something that you wear at night for the most part. So again, I think that this is a really good choice. Even if, let's say for instance, if this is like a first date or something like that, I think that this would really leave a really good impression. And again, this is Amber Night from Perfumery Privezarah from Paris Corner. All right, so the next fragrance up, this is going to be from Ted Lapidus, and this is Poker Face from Ted Lapidus. This is their take on La Nuit de L'Homme by YSL. And like I've mentioned before in previous videos, this is pretty much, it's more so closer to like the original formulations of La Nuit de L'Homme, as opposed to like the more sort of recent ones. All right. This is really amazing. This is like lavender, cardamom, tonka bean. It's just a really sexy fragrance. This is another one of those fragrances that, at least for me, I only am really in the mood to wear or smell this pretty much at night. I do think that this is also a really great choice for like a first date to leave a good impression as well. And the performance on this one is pretty good as well. I get at least about 7 to 8 hours or so on skin with the Ted Lapidus Poker Face. So if you're looking for like that La Nuit de L'Homme scent DNA that's not gonna fleet off of your skin in like 4 hours or so, then definitely check this one out. Again, that's Ted Lapidus Poker Face. So the next fragrance up, again, as I've stated before in previous videos, I think that this is definitely the best version of this particular scent DNA in terms of the different clones that are out there for it. And this is Fragrance World's Suits. So this is Fragrance World's take on YSL's Tuxedo. Again, in the immediate opening of this fragrance, it does smell slightly different. I would say probably a little bit more sort of citrusy, at least in the immediate opening. But again, once this dries down, this is pretty much identical to YSL Tuxedo. I did a side-by-side comparison of this video or of this particular fragrance. I've worn the two fragrances side by side to get a good idea of how they smelled. And, again, in the dry down, I really don't tell any sort of difference other than the fact that this one is stronger and it lasts much longer. I got, well over 12 hours on skin with this particular fragrance. I think this is also going to be another one of those fragrances that, you could definitely wear on a first date. I would definitely probably more so kind of wear this on like a first date, maybe if you're going to like probably a more sort of upscale sort of place. So if you're going to like a really expensive restaurant or like a museum or something like that, then I think that this would definitely be a perfect choice for that. But at the same time, I do think that you could wear this if you're just going to the movies or, just going to just a regular restaurant just to kind of get to know the person. I think this would still, either way, leave a really good impression. And again, this one is Suits by Fragrance World. All right, so the next fragrance up, this is from Parfums de Marley. And we all know this particular fragrance. This is going to be Parfum de Marley's Layton. All right, so Parfums de Marley Layton. This fragrance is just a really sexy apple cinnamon sort of, fragrance. I definitely think that you could get away with wearing this fragrance on like cooler summer nights, especially if you live in a climate where it's not super hot like it is out here in Las Vegas. So I would say probably anyone that lives in the middle of the country here in the U.S. or even like on the East Coast, anyone in those particular areas, I would say you could definitely get away with wearing this fragrance like in the summertime at night possibly. But this is, for the most part, in my opinion, pretty much like a fall and winter type of scent. If you do wear it in the warmer months at night, I would say maybe only go with about 2 sprays max for this particular fragrance. But overall, man, this is again a really sexy fragrance. I've definitely gotten compliments wearing this particular fragrance as well. And again, this one is Layton by Parfums de Marley. Next fragrance up, this is a clone of, like, I would say probably the most popular scent DNA right now, which is Angel Share. And this is from Alexandria Fragrances. This is Brooklyn Fragrance Lover by Alexandria Fragrances. All right, so in my opinion, this is pretty much the closest you're gonna get to Angel Share without actually buying Angel Share. Now, this isn't the cheapest Angel Share clone out there. There's definitely other sort of clones or inspirations like Camera. I believe Kismet Angel. You have another one from Fragrance World. I think it's called something on Ice or something like that. I can't think of the name of that one, but either way, those I know are definitely, those are solid clones of Angel Share as well. But again, if you want the closest, clone to that particular scent DNA, then I think this is probably going to be your best choice as of right now. And this is another one of those sort of apple cinnamon, really sort of boozy types of fragrances. I don't really see too many people disliking this fragrance. In my opinion, it's not something that is super loud, but it does have a nice sort of projection and strength to it. The longevity on this one is also pretty good, 8+ hours. And I would say this is also probably best for like the fall and winter months. All right. So again, this is Brooklyn Fragrance Lover by Alexandria Fragrances. Next fragrance up is from the house of Initio Parfums. in my opinion, man, this one does not get talked about enough. And this again is Initio's Rehab. Initio Rehab. So Initio Rehab, man, this is just a really sexy, spicy sort of lavender. It's like a sweet lavender with spices, a little bit of woods in this fragrance as well. I really, really love the way that this smells. This comes off as smelling extremely natural smelling, high quality. I think that you would definitely leave a good impression wearing this particular fragrance on a date. I, for the most part, only tend to reach for this one at night. Although I think that this is still a fragrance that you could wear, you know, any time of the day. And in terms of like the seasons that I would recommend this one for, definitely more so like the fall and winter, in my opinion. But this is also still one that you could probably wear like on, you know, cooler summer nights, especially if you don't live in a super hot climate, again, like out here in Las Vegas. So again, this is Initio's Rehab. All right, so the next fragrance up, this is a clone of probably the most cloned scent DNA out there right now. And this is from the house of Haramain. And this is Haramain's Amber Oud Rouge. All right. So Amber Oud Rouge, this is like their take on the Baccarat Rouge 540 scent DNA. And I think you can't really go wrong with this fragrance, whether it's the first date, the third date, the 50th date. Women love the scent of Baccarat Rouge 540. So again, I don't think that you can go wrong with this one. You know, obviously, most of you all know pretty much what this smells like, and you know what this does. So I'm not really gonna go over that. But in terms of the performance that I get with this one, really good performance, at least 8+ hours, moderate projection pretty much the whole entire time. This is definitely one that leaves a really nice sillage and kind of hangs in the air. And like I said, women really, really, really love the way that this one smells. Again, this is Amber Oud Rouge by Haramain. All right, so this next fragrance up, this is from the house of Chanel. And in my opinion, this is one of the most sexiest scents that they have in their whole lineup in terms of just the regular sort of designer scents. This is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right. So this is, in my opinion, this is the best smelling sort of iteration of that Bleu de Chanel scent DNA. This is just really, it has a really concentrated, really sort of woody, slightly incensey, citrusy type of vibe to it. It's not as citrusy as like the EDT or even the EDP. The grapefruit in this is, you know, not as present, but it still has enough of it, you know, in this particular fragrance to give it, you know, a really nice sort of freshness to it. And I mean, I've gotten some amazing compliments wearing this particular fragrance. I think that this is one that you could wear all year round for the most part. Maybe except for like the really, really cold winter. This is probably not necessarily one that I would reach for in those situations. Other than, you know, if maybe, let's say, if this was like a date just strictly inside, then I think you're okay. But this is definitely, in my opinion, going to be more so for like the summer, fall, and the spring. But again, this is a really amazing fragrance. Again, this is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Next fragrance up, this is cloning Creed's Aventus, and obviously there's tons of different clones out there for that particular scent DNA, and this is actually not the only you know, sort of Creed clone from this particular clone house. This is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum. All right. So in my opinion, this is the best sort of polished, you know, refined, well-rounded version of Creed Aventus in terms of clones that I've smelled anyway. Obviously, I know that there's other clones out there that other people have tried that maybe I haven't. But in terms of the ones that I have tried, I think that this is absolutely the best. And this, at least when I first got it, the performance on it was okay. Like I probably got like around 5 to 6 hours or so, but I wore this the other day and this one was like going really strong for at least about 7 to 8 hours plus. So definitely I would say once you get this one, you know, as you sort of let it sit, it'll definitely start to become stronger. And like I said in my previous sort of comparison video with this, for the most part, this one smelled almost identical to my 18K11 batch of Creed Aventus. The main difference was just that this one was slightly more sweeter in my opinion. But that Creed Aventus scent DNA, I think, is definitely one of those scent DNAs that most women anyway are gonna really love. So again, definitely for, you know, any sort of date situation, I think this is a perfect choice. Again, this is Club de Nuit Intense Man by Armaf, and this is the limited edition Parfum. All right, and so the last fragrance up, this is out of all of the ones that I have on this list, this is the newest one that I've gotten. And this is by F.A. Paris Fragrance World. This is Francique 63.55. And this is their take on Gris Charnel. Whether or not this is the extrait or the EDP, only time will tell. I do have a sample of the Gris Charnel EDP, the original one, coming in here soon. So I'll definitely be doing a video letting you all know exactly which one this one is cloning. At least in the opening of the extrait, this one definitely smelled a little bit different when compared to the extrait, but in the dry down, it smelled pretty close to the extrait. So again, I'll have to see exactly how the original one smells, at least in the opening. But this, in my opinion, is a really, really good choice. Especially if you don't have the money to necessarily buy the original BDK Parfums fragrance. I think this is a really amazing choice. It's a sort of, you know, spicy, but yet at the same time, sort of sweet cardamom. It's really, really fresh, really sexy, really aromatic. I really, really love the way that this one smells. I haven't really worn this around other people as of yet, so I can't really, you know, comment on like compliment factor or anything like that. But in my opinion, this smells really, really amazing, especially for the price that this costs. This smells way more expensive than the $45 that I bought this one for. So again, definitely check this one out. And I would say I definitely recommend this one for dates. This one is Francique 63.55. All right, so that is the list, man. Let me know what you all thought of the list. Have you all actually worn any of these fragrances on any sort of dates? And you know, what did the other person give you in terms of feedback in regards to those particular fragrances? All right, so let me know in the comments below. Also, again, if you found the information in the video helpful, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and also leave a like and a comment on the video as well. All right, so that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.